Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to Kent Public High School and Boys College, Wadat Colony, Texla Kent online classes. Today we are going to discuss the topic S System Development Life Cycle Phases and Steps. Now, in SDLC, there are many phases for developing a project. First phase is defining the problem, second is planning, third is feasibility study, fourth is analysis, fifth is requirement engineering, number 6 is design, 7th coding, 8th testing and verification, 9th deployment, and last one is maintenance and support. These phases are shown in diagram and done one by one. First of all, we will discuss defining the problem. In this phase, the problem to be solved or system to be developed is clearly defined. All the requirements are documented and approved from the customer or the company, which consist of all the products requirements to be designed and developed during the development of life cycle. Example, we will take example student examination system development. So first of all, we will define how to define the problem. The problem is a student examination system is needed to be developed that covers all the aspects from examination taken to the student's results generation. Here, first problem is defined. Now we are going to planning phase. In planning phase, the objective of the project is determined and the requirement to produce and the products are considered. An estimate of resources such as personnel and cost is prepared along with a concept for new product. All the information is analyzed to see if there is an alternative solution to create a new product. If there is no other available alternates, the information is assembled into a project plan and present to management for approval. First of all, we will define the problem student examination system. Now, in planning phase, student examination system development project planning will be made to set the ultimate goals and estimate of resources such as personnel and cost. Now our planning is done. We are going to feasibility. Feasibility study is used to assess the strength and weaknesses of a proposed software and present direction of activities which will improve a project and achieve desired results. The nature and components of feasibility studies depends primarily on the areas in which analyzed project are implemented. Feasibility study is the analysis and evaluation of a proposed project or system to determine whether it is technically, financially, economically, legally, and operationally feasible with the estimated cost and time. Feasibility study is one of the important steps in software development life cycle. Feasibility step is divided into different types and forms. First, technically feasibility, economic feasibility, operational feasibility, legal feasibility, and schedule feasibility. The example of this student examination system project is assessed for all types of feasibility and present to management for final approval. Now feasibility study is done. The next phase, we will move into next phase, is analysis phase. During the analysis phase, the project team determines the end user requirements. This is done with the assistance of client focus group, which provides an explanation of their needs and what their expectations are for the new system and how it will perform. In this phase, the in charge of project team must decide whether the project should go ahead with available resources or not. Analysis is also looking at the existing systems to see what and how it is doing its job. The project team asks different types of questions. These questions may be: can the proposed software or system be developed with available resources and budget? Will this system is significant to improve the organization? Does the existing system even need to be replaced? An example we will take an RAD, student examination system development project, is analyzed for development. The project team will visit the school college to study the existing system and will suggest the possible improvements. Now our analysis phase is complete and our project is moved to next phase, is requirement engineering. In requirement engineering, the process of determining user expectation for a new and modified system or software. Requirement engineering is a set of activities to identify and communicate the purpose of a software system and the framework in which it will be used. Requirement engineering consists of three different phases: requirement gathering, requirement validation, and requirement management. Now we will first look requirement gathering. Requirement gathering is the first step of any software or system development process. In this phase, meeting with the customer are arranged, mark the requirements and features that are in demand are analyzed. There are two types: functional requirement, non-functional requirement. Functional requirement specify the software functionality that the developers must build into the product. Non-functional requirements specify criteria for the judgments of operation of a system. Now we move to next, requirement validation. Requirement validation is concerned with examining the requirements to clarify that they meet the intentions of the stakeholders. The validation differs from the verification in sense that verification occurs after the requirements have been accepted, and in requirement validation the requirements are reviewed to check that requirements are completed and accurate. Now last is requirements management. Requirements management is performed to ensure that the software continues to meet the expectation of the acquirer and users. Requirements management needs to gather new requirements that arise from the changing expectation, new regulations, and other resources of change. Next, design phase. The design phase is the architectural phase of system design. In this phase, we show the flow of data processing is developed into charts, and the project team determines the most logical design and structure for data flow and storage. For the user interface, the project team design mock-up screens layouts that the developers use to write the code for the actual interface. The design phase normally consists of two different structures: algorithms, flowchart. Now we will discuss first algorithm. Algorithm is a specific step-by-step procedure for carrying out the solution of problem. And a flowchart is a type of diagram that represents an algorithm or a process. It shows the steps of algorithm with the help of symbols and their orders by arrows connecting the symbols. Diagrammatic representation of algorithms gives step-by-step solution to given problem. Now we will move to next construction or coding phase. In this phase, developers execute the plan according to the design phase. The developers design the database, generate the code for data flow process, and design the actual user interface screens. During the construction phase, test data is prepared and processed as many times as necessary to refine the code. This code is written in programming language. Code is also called computer programs. Now we will moving to testing and verification phase. In testing and verification phase, test all the systems functionality and performance. The execution of a programming modules to find error is called testing. The bugs are identified in the program modules. The process of removing bugs from the program is called debugging. The main purpose of testing and verification of the system is to determine that whether it meets its required result or not. Testing verification, the software is actually operating the software under controlled condition. It is the process of checking the items for consider by evaluating the results against pre-specified requirements. Now we will move to deployment and implementation phase. Software deployment is a set of activities that are used to make software system available for use. The deployment is also called implementation. The main activities of this phase is installation and activation of the hardware and software. In some cases, user and the computer operation persons are trained on the deployed software system. Conversion in this process, changing from the old system to new, is called convergence. Deployment and implementation phase. Methods. First method is direct implementation. In this method, old system being completely dropped and the new system being completely implemented the same time. Parallel. In this method, operating both systems together for a period. This allows any major problem with new system to be concerned and corrected without the loss of data. Phased. In this method, old system to new system involved a gradual introduction of the new system. The old system is progressively discarded. And the next one is last is maintenance and support. In this phase, the maintenance and support is ongoing process. The system is monitored continually for performance in accordance with the user requirements and need. Systems modification are incorporated. When modifications are identified, the system may re-enter the planning phase. This process continues until a complete solution is provided to the customer. Maintenance can be either be repairing or modification or some enhancements in the existing systems. Now that's all. In the next video we will discuss persons involved in software development life cycles and their roles.